We're back with the Bad Vibe Podcast. Dwight and Jeremy.
That's me.
Yeah.
And you're him.
Yeah, I am him.
I'm him and you're not me.
Is this one of those weird things where, like, you can't really explain that?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not me, I'm him. Like, nobody says that.
Someone's looking at you funny, you're like, no, but what I mean, they're like, no, I get it. But what the fuck are you talking
It's
about,
like some
man?
kind of weird, like, paradox.
That's what everybody's listening right now. They're like, okay.
What the fuck are these guys talking about?
I know this is episode 76 and all, but what the fuck are these guys talking about? This is how they start a fucking episode?
All you know when you're done with this, for sure, is that it's episode 76.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, it's episode 76.
Okay, so,
Big motherfucking sticks.
your friend,
My friend.
Kevin,
Yeah, my friend Kevin.
you were saying something the other day about he may be going on vacation soon?
Okay, we've spoke about my friend Kevin on here
Yeah,
before.
catch him up on it.
We've been friends ever since we were in 6th grade. So we've been friends almost 20 years now, I think. And
That means you're in 26th grade now, right? Go ahead.
Anyways, still haven't graduated.
Let's face it, 24th.
No.
He had a few bad years. He had a couple of bad years.
No, anyways, all right. So we've been friends for a very long time, and he's pretty strange.
He is. Here's what I say about Kevin always, if anybody asks.
He's very strange.
I don't know anybody else like Kevin.
No.
I don't know, like...
He's strange, but, like, he's one of those guys, though, if you need his help, he's there.
Oh, he's a good dude.
That's what's crazy. He'll be there, he'll help you out, do whatever, and then he'll just go
I'll
home.
be there. But here's what I say about Kevin.
Wait, what were you singing?
I'll be there.
Oh,
for you.
I was like, I didn't catch the beginning of it.
That part.
Yeah.
So Kevin
Anyways.
is one of those guys that you never meet somebody and you're like, man, that guy reminds me so much of Kevin. That don't happen.
No.
Nobody reminds
If you have
of
a house
Kevin.
that has the clapping thing, you can't watch Friends.
Your lights just
If you
flicker.
have epilepsy and you have the lights,
It's
thing,
a recipe for death.
right?
Can you die from epilepsy?
Yes.
Oh, because it's a seizure.
Seizures. Yeah.
I was thinking
No,
it was
it's
just like
all
a fun party
this
trick.
guy has epilepsy. Oh no! And then he just dies in his car one day, right?
Well, I was...
He dies in his sleep.
I didn't mean can you die from... I meant like epilepsy... Okay, you have epilepsy, so you're prone to have seizures.
Uh-huh.
You can die from the result of the seizures, but can you die from like... You have kidney failure because you have epilepsy. It's nothing like that, right?
Oh, you mean like other side effects?
Like the seizure can kill you because...
Well, I'm sure there's like the medicine. It probably has horrible side effects.
Oh, it definitely does.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you won't have seizures anymore, but you are going to be bleeding out of your
Ass. It's always ass.
Yeah.
It's never like
They're
finger. You're like, it's
left
not bad.
ear, right?
Yeah.
You're like, my left ear?
That ear's pretty bad too.
You're like, I don't know. It's just always the left ear.
If the doctor says when you take this, you might bleed from your... He's going to say ass or eyes or something.
You're
He's not
like,
going to say
damn it.
finger because you're
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh, it's not bad. I wouldn't mind bleeding from the finger
Yeah.
if I don't have to have seizures anymore.
Yeah.
But ass, I mean, shaking on the floor, breakdancing, or ass bleeding. I'll take breakdancing any day.
Ass bleeding. Wow.
Ass bleed. I took a medicine one time. I can't remember now what it was
I'll
for.
take ass bleeding. Right? That's always someone's gonna say.
I'll take ass bleeding for $500.
Oh god.
But I took a medicine one time, and I can't remember what it was for now.
I'll give you 500 for ass bleeding. Oh shit. Anyways, all right, continue.
So yeah,
Sorry.
so I took a medicine one time, and I can't remember what it was for, but one of the possible side effects was anal leakage.
Oh wow.
And I remember thinking, like, that doesn't sound bad. You just, like, I thought it would be like you just got to take a shit more often. You know what I mean? But no, that's not what it means. It means your anal leaks. Like, you're just sitting there at work, and you're like, it feels like I didn't wipe. So you go and you wipe real good, wet paper towels and everything.
You had that?
I stopped taking the medicine once I experienced that. So I had it just then. And then
They're
I
like,
stopped.
immediately stop taking your medicine.
Yeah.
If
but
you experienced, you got a pill like in your mouth. You're like,
I
you're like, now I got like mouthful leakage. Right? I don't know what that would. Oral.
That's what I do
right?
have. Oral leakage. That's
yeah.
what this podcast should be
I
called.
said mouthful.
Dude, if we ever start a secondary
You have
podcast,
butthole leakage, right?
if we ever start a second podcast
Yeah.
as like a side piece, it should be called
Oral leakage.
Oral Leakage.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's not anal leakage.
That is a really good idea.
Anal
for
leakage isn't a bad name either.
Yeah, but they're like,
Because we're
oh, that's
talking
disgusting.
shit,
But
but-
oral leakage, yeah. I mean, that's saying shit you shouldn't.
Yeah, oral leakage. Or saying
Pretty
stuff
good.
that you just like, you know, why did I need to say?
We'll be right back with. Right? But no, anyways.
so Kevin.
Yeah, let's get back to Kevin.
Speaking of anal leakage, he
Okay.
seems like he just unwittingly slid out of somebody's asshole. Like, I don't believe he was born from, like, I don't believe that his mom and some man had sex and then 9 months later there was a cute baby. I feel like he's like the Highlander. He wanders this earth.
Well, I mean, it's like he's from one state, was raised in another, and then finished being raised in another.
He moved from Michigan.
He was born in California.
Yeah.
Was like somewhat raised in Michigan, so he had that crazy accent coming into junior high.
It's so bad.
And having anything that stood out in junior high.
Yeah.
Besides if you were like cool.
He had a crazy accent, and he was like into like the shit that now if you're into it, you get laid. Like kind of like nerd, you know. You know, like say if you and Kevin were growing up now instead of in like the late 90s.
Yeah.
Everybody is like being a nerd is supposed to be cool now. So
back then, I mean, we didn't have like social media.
Y'all weren't cool.
Where his accent just no one in fucking Texas.
I mean,
knew
you're
what the
in
fuck they was
Southeast
talking
Texas,
about.
and he comes down here with a Midwest accent. He's like, "Let's get some pop, guys." Or however the fuck you talk.
But I mean, like for real though. Nowadays, though, everybody has the social media. They see
watch
everywhere.
YouTube videos.
So they know this accent and everything. It'd be accepted more.
So if Kevin's accent was the weirdest thing about him, we wouldn't be talking about him right now.
Yeah, he's pretty strange. I know where you're wanting to go with this, and you can talk about what you're saying is, but
we need to let him know that we're talking about the same guy who drew the mural. You can tell that story since you know it.
Okay,
just a brief.
Him and his wife. When they first got together, he had an apartment. She moved in with him, and she was pregnant, or she got pregnant or whatever. Anyways, so they were living in this apartment for a little while.
Fucks. I'm sorry.
They were living anal leakage. Right? No, but anyways, it's dick leakage.
Yeah.
But so anyways, they were living in this apartment or whatever, and somehow he got a bright idea of drawing a picture on his kitchen wall,
where he rents an apartment.
Where like the kitchen is a part of. Like the dining room, or it's the dining room wall, I guess. But it's, apartments, it's all kind of together, I guess, whatever.
There's bedrooms, bathrooms, and then the rest.
Yeah. So anyways, he just gets an idea on his dining room wall to draw a picture of some, like, animated character. Like, traced it, and then he just painted it. Like, you have to get approval, and they're not going to give it to you just to paint your wall.
You get...
I kind of think I'd go with baby blue.
They'll take your deposit away if you have nail holes in the wall where you hung pictures up.
He went with I don't know who the fuck it was, but it was something from it was something from Dragon Ball Z, I think.
Some pointy-eared chick or
it was a dude, but it was like Goku or something like that. It was pretty good fucking drawing. I mean,
why did he want that on his wall?
I have no idea.
Like, I like a lot of stuff, you know.
I mean, I know he got
I like football,
fined or whatever, penalized for it. But he didn't give a shit.
No,
they ended up leaving that apartment in the middle of the night, and instead of moving out, he just opened the door and told some guy saying, "Hey, you can have whatever you want. Tell your friends." When I went over there to help him move what he was taking, there was just people with flashlights all in his house.
Yeah, just to be clear,
grabbing shit, running out like they were stealing.
This is kind of like the projects.
Yeah, kind of like...
It was where we used to live, right?
Yeah, when we were, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sketchy apartment.
It's worse than it was when we lived there.
It's even worse now, yeah.
So,
yeah, he drew a mural on his rented month-to-month apartment wall.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what I've been...
It's a really good drawing, though.
What? Yeah, of course it was. Kevin seems like he'd draw good. I don't know.
And people fucking smoke weed and
he seems like he would draw...
do meth. There's meth labs in those apartments.
Yeah.
He draws on the wall and people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, to me, they should be glad. Yeah. But Kevin...
While they have a needle sticking out of their arm, judging him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That he draws.
You could have just made a meth lab or something. Why didn't you draw a meth lab?
Yeah.
Right?
He should have drawn a meth
lab. That's pretty damn good. Yeah. It looks like the one that's in 308. Right?
Yeah. So, Kevin, really, here's how I feel about Kevin. He is Jack Dawson from Titanic if he wasn't that good looking. He kind of drifts around, does his own thing. I'm sure Kevin has drawn naked French girls before. And he's probably been on a boat that sunk before.
He was in the Navy for 4 years.
Yeah, so I'm sure he was on a boat that sunk. So anyway, the point of the story was Kevin... Oh, yeah, you're supposed to tell it. You actually talked to him.
About what?
His vacation.
Oh, okay. All right, I found out recently, this is something you don't even know, It's tax time right now. Everybody's doing their taxes, and if you work, you get money back, right?
So poor Unless people you work, are like rich for 2 weeks.
If you get paid like awesome,
if you have a good job, you have to pay taxes instead of getting a refund.
Anyways,
paying too much.
I'm getting back a couple thousand. I thought I was pretty happy, right? And I found out that he's getting like over 10. 14, actually. And I'm like,
it sounds like he sold some of his art.
When he told me, I was like, dude, and you need to, like, because they're still renting an apartment.
$14,000.
He's renting an apartment right now, and as I know, there is no mural.
He's in there sketching as we speak.
He's like, Goku, right? And he's going to draw another Goku.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, he sent me in a text message. He's like, hey, man, I did my taxes. I'm like, oh, that's good. What are you going to get back? He's like, $14K. And I'm like, damn.
Is that for sure, though? He's not lying.
That's what he said. I don't know, dude. Yeah. Probably like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 14A or something. I don't know. Is that dollars? Is that cents? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. If you start back from K and keep going, I mean, I think that's pennies.
Maybe he made 14 kilometers. Is how far he has to drive to go find out.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, he said 14K. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, you should put back like 10K for a house, you know? And he sent back a question mark, ... and then he's like, no, I told you we're going to get a car this year.
Yeah, that's a good
And then next year we're going to get a house. I was like, okay, yeah, I was just saying like you could put money back. And then, you know.
I know you argued with him because he.
I mean, I tried. I was holding back. Like, whoa. You know what I mean? I was really holding back, you know? Like, I dove off the fucking
Kevin
carriage.
Is notoriously bad with money.
He's horrible, yeah. Because he's like, hey, I get 4K, you get 4K, we do what we want with it. And then, you know, they're like, he's like, the other 6, you know, I don't know, we'll split it too.
Yeah, right? And then when the kids get hungry, we'll
save it.
A second job.
We'll save it for a month, you know? He's like, what we'll do is we'll both quit our jobs, we'll live off this 14K, we'll ride that wave, and then...
that really wouldn't surprise me.
I'll just get another job, I don't know.
That really wouldn't surprise me.
He's like, we're going to move to Hawaii. Right?
The flight costs like $5,000.
He's like, we can just move to Mexico and we'll live for 50 years there. You know what I mean? No, but how about we move to Norway?
Yeah.
So he told me one day, I went in there and he's like, I heard from his wife, who is my sister-in-law. She's married, or she's sisters with my wife. So
I know what sister-in-law means.
No, they don't. I hope
they
so.
do.
No, but they don't know that.
I know what you're saying.
I never brought up that me and him are brother-in-laws now. Mm-hmm. Our sisters are our wives are sisters, okay?
It's like, I'm my own grandpa. It's confusing. Move on.
Anyways, so, people are like, don't get the fuck. Did you say Norway? Oh, shit.
What does this have to do with Scandinavia?
Anyways, his wife came over one day. I was talking to my wife, and she said that they're going to go on a trip sometime soon. They're going to get some income tax money in, and they're going to go like fly somewhere. They're going to go on a trip, like a really cool trip. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. When I was talking to him, I was like, man, where are they going to go? Because if they really are going to go somewhere, I hope
you
it's
had to
cool.
Guess it was going to be somewhere weird.
Yeah, I figured if they go somewhere at all, because they've said, like, we're going to California, we're going to Michigan, we're going to here. And it's always like, we're going here and here, here, you know? And then, so he tells me, I'm up there, and he's like, yeah, we're going to go to Norway. I was like, what? Like,
you know,
I've never thought of Norway. You know what I mean? You hear about it on the movie.
Yeah.
You know, and they're all like in Norway, and there's like they're robbing a bank or something. You know what I mean? You don't. Norway.
So you have unlimited money, which he thinks he has anytime he has more than $50, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, we can go anywhere. Norway probably would be nice to go, but how does that enter into your mind? Like, how are you sitting there? Like, where should we go? California? Oh, what about Louisiana? We could hit up some casinos. Or Norway. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like Norway was his second choice because his wife didn't sign off on journeying to the center of the earth. Like, Kevin has the weirdest ideas.
He's like, we can go to Mordor, right?
Exactly.
He's like,
Narnia's busy this time of year, so we'll just go to Norway.
We'll visit the Shire, you know? And then, and she's like, and he's like, Norway?
He's like, I mean, the upside down seems sketchy, so we're going to Norway.
He's like, where would you like to go, my precious? Right?
He's like, we'll follow the yellow brick road. If it goes to Norway, we go to Norway. It's out of my hands.
But he's
like, I could do this all night.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna go see the Eiffel Tower. She's like,
In Norway?
Right. No.
Oh,
no, I'm just saying.
Dude, I was
he's
really
like,
hoping
let's go see the Eiffel Tower. She's like, right?
Yeah.
He's like, let's go see the monument. Let's go see some here. No. And then it's like, let's go see and this. And then she's like, Norway. She's like, got it. Right?
He's like,
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, let's go see the Eiffel Tower. No, let's go see the Great Wall. No, let's go see ice and white people.
He told me that the reason is because I guess he had been there back when he was...
I don't buy that there's a reason.
I think that he said he had been there, or maybe when he was in his travels back, after high school when he had left, and he was in the Navy for those 4 years. Maybe.
Does the Navy go to Norway?
I don't know, dude.
Seems like there's icebergs.
I don't know.
It's way the fuck high, like up there.
They get the gravy, right? I only have gravy in
Can
Norway.
you imagine if you're in the Navy, you're just sitting on a boat eating gravy? The farts, dude. Because it's all closed in.
Always got the beans.
I think it's submarine.
Farts with gravy?
Yeah, dude, anything like real, like starchy and you're bloated all the time.
Hold on. The Navy gets the gravy. That's just...
all they get's gravy. Not on a chicken fried
No,
steak.
but I mean, like, you think of them being as gay.
Is that what it means?
Right? It sounds like it, right?
Because
they're like, we need like gravy, right?
Like, they always, like, Navy guys, you always think of them as, like, people say that they're gay and stuff. I know one dude that was in the Navy that I know.
There's girls in it.
Yeah, yeah, and they're lesbos.
Yeah.
But I know one dude that was in the Navy.
They're ugly, though.
And he's not gay. But, I mean, that's one dude. The Navy's, like, millions. Kevin could be... I think Kevin is, like, not gay or straight. He's Kevin, Mm-hmm. And, I got a brother-in-law or whatever. But, yeah, so Norway. It was, like... I just imagined the conversation with him and his... what is the person you call to, like, set up your plan? Travel agent. They're like, where do you want to go, Kevin? And he's like, I want to go someplace warm. Someplace where, the Dumb and Dumber scene.
Yeah.
I always thought of that. He's like, someplace warm. A little place called Norway. And she's like, okay.
The lady spits her coffee.
It's like up there close to the fucking
She's like,
Arctic
hold on.
Circle.
She's like, I don't think I have, like no one flies there.
Nobody flies to Norway.
She's like, you're going to have, like, 6 connecting flights, right?
Yeah. Norwegians who are here on business fly back to Norway.
He flies to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
That's where if you're flying out of Houston, all connecting flights go to fucking Dallas.
He has a series of hour flights.
It's just straight up, like...
They land on islands trying to make it. They land on an iceberg to fuel up.
Yeah.
I get that. I would love to go
At some point, they're in a fucking canoe.
They're in one of those biplanes. Yeah. They're like, we're going to get you to Norway if it's the last thing we do.
Oh, shit.
His wife's like, I thought you said Norway was up by Dallas.
They're flying. She's like, I thought we were going to land soon. And then they got, like, fucking parachutes. They have to land that way on...
He's like, going to land a lot sooner if you don't listen to me. Pull the string with your left hand.
He's like, it's either this way or Norway.
It's just a suicidal pilot with Norway puns.
That might be the fucking name of this episode.
Yeah, it's just a suicidal pilot with Norway puns. He's like, oh shit. So,
I don't know what other Norway puns really there is.
I had one and then I forgot it while I was trying to.
Damn it.
Yeah, it was. Okay, just for background. Kevin's wife is Hispanic. So I was saying, if she's like, are we almost there? And he's like, Norway, Jose.
Norway, Jose.
That took a lot of setup, but I'm proud of it.
Yeah, well, I did have a pun, let me tell you.
Yeah. That was the worst thing. Because I had it and then I couldn't remember it.
You're like, hey, I got a good pun for you.
Because I was like, it was Norway.
They're only good when it's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, this guy's just going to give us a pun. Right?
Ready for puns? Yeah.
But,
So
it would have been really good out of nowhere.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. And I was like, it was Norway something.
I'm like, yeah, that's good.
And I was like, oh yeah, Jose.
Right? So you're like, that was funny.
Just
that's the response.
To be fully
like a clap. Like when they clap for a comedian.
So just to be fully upfront about it, I was trying to remember it as I was setting it up. That's why I was like, I got a pun for you. In the back of my head, I was like, Norway what? Norway what?
Your mind's been off a little bit.
Yeah.
I gotta let them know there's a pun.
Yeah. But, so anyway, I would like to go to Norway. It's like beautiful there and it's this and that.
Well,
it's just, I can't imagine.
She's a photographer. So, he said on his list, he's got a list of places he want to, visit one day. And, I mean, how would that be the first one, though?
It's weird.
You know what I mean? The first place he wanted to go to on his travel.
Is he trying to... make sure he only has to be around white people? Because there are white people up there. I mean, they're Nordic, you know? They are what Hitler wanted the whole world to be. You know, Nordic people. But, yeah, when you told me that the other day...
No dick people?
I mean, Kevin probably don't have a dick. He's asexual. He just is. Remember when he got married, or he was proposed or something, and you were telling me that you went and talked to his wife, his girlfriend at the time, and you were trying to explain to her that, look, Kevin is flighty. Kevin might just move out and go live in a dumpster
I said one day, I was like, you're going to go to the store, you're going to come back, and he just isn't going to be there anymore.
He's going to be
some of his stuff will be gone.
Like
he'll just pack up a little bit, like somehow just put it in a backpack, and then it's gone.
He might just stay in Norway.
You know what I mean?
Are they going to Norway soon? Like in February?
No, I mean, they've been talking about it.
Okay, good. Because it's probably like 40, 50 below.
Air conditioner's very loud right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, Kevin, if you ever listen to this, I mean, I have not said anything untrue. I mean, I haven't.
It's all true. And Kevin is a solid dude.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, if I've ever fucking needed him, you know what I mean? I was drunk. Like, the first time I ever, called him and he, had a car and was able to come help, I was fucking drunk. I stayed at someone's house, and I woke up in the morning, I walked out, and I had a flat. And I had, the worst fucking headache. And, hangover, I guess, right? Anyways, I called him.
It's like explaining what a sister-in-law is.
And he was, 15 or 20 minutes away, and he came all the way over there, helped me change my tire, and then, went home. You know?
He called me, and I was like, it's breaking up. I'm going through a tunnel.
You probably, seriously didn't answer. But, I mean, he just has always been there for me. That's
he has...
I've always tried to be there for him, too, if he needed me, so.
He has a pretty close link to the podcast because he helped us when we bought a new building for a studio. He helped us with some of the manual labor that went involved in getting it going and ready. And we still have more work for him to do on the podcast studio.
He is like a handyman kind of guy, though. Yeah. I mean, he just is
But he's also the most unique person I think I know.
Yeah.
So when I tell, the idea, almost
very strange.
When you say Kevin's got 15 grand and he's going to Norway, I should have just been like, it should have been no different than if you said, hey, Alex made a B on his test. It's like, oh, that's cool. Of course Kevin's going to Norway.
But sometimes it's like the shock factor is what it is. It's just it's strange, but and you know where it's coming from, but what?
I'm also a little jealous because I would like to go to Norway.
Yeah. I never have thought about it except for you see it in the movie. You're like, Norway. Okay, well, where's that?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Is that by Mexico?
I feel like it tells you where it is in the name. It's like Norway. It's way north. Yeah. Yeah, it's it's where the fucking the Vikings and shit are from. I feel like if Kevin would have went to Ireland for his trip.
That's where I was like, dude, why would you go to Ireland?
Because they would get it mixed up and lose him.
You know what I mean?
He looks like all of them.
I mean, he goes to one pub and never walks out, right?
Yeah, or
he comes back,
his wife
green
walks
hat,
up and holds hands with every guy in the place.
You know, it's all of a sudden
his wife keeps walking up, tapping guys on the shoulder. Kevin. Every guy that turns around,
they're all like, eh? Right? They all turn at the same time. Kevin.
Yeah.
No, but anyways.
Okay, enough of Kevin.
All right.
His wife's like, true dat. No, dude, the other day I was at my uncle's house. And, my dad's side of the family, they're pretty, kind of white trash-ish, some of them.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Some of them are very. One of them, dude. I wish anyway. So my uncle's there, and his daughter and niece are come over, and they have a baby with them, this little baby. And I'd seen
theirs.
No, a little baby, not a baby, but he could walk decent. He was 18 months. So anyway, this baby's walking around, and he keeps walking up to me like, "Daddy, Daddy," and I was like, no. And then he'd go up to my dad. My dad was there too. He'd go up to my dad, "Daddy." Every man there would go up saying, "Daddy." So I asked my cousin.
His mom is a whore.
Yes. So I asked my cousin. I was like, "What's the deal? Who's his actual dad?" She's like, "Might be you, haha." And I was like, "No." I was like, "Is your kid?" Because I'd seen her recently, but I hadn't seen her for years before recently. So maybe she had a kid. And she's like, "No." She's like, "It's this girl. It's this girl I know, and we're watching the kid for her because she needs to get her shit together." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Yeah, she's 35, which is my age. She has 11 kids.
Fuck.
I want to say...
No, she doesn't need to get her shit together. She needed to get her shit together.
It's too late. Yeah. See, I want to say, and this part I might be making up.
Her shit will never be together.
No,
It just won't.
I think it was from 10 different men and maybe 11. So, you know, so, and she's like, yeah.
$14K would not help her get her shit together.
No, that's how much child support she'd be getting if all those guys had jobs.
Oh, shit.
So,
she needs to send some of them to Norway. Oh, wow.
So, the kid, so the mom is 35 and has 11 different kids. And so she's still got a
It'd be even weirder if she had 11 of the same kid.
She just has a cloning issue. It's multiplicity gone awry.
She's like, Kevin, they all turn.
But they still have different dads. Somehow.
Shit.
Somehow they still have different dads.
Oh my god, okay.
I feel like one of her kids has two different dads. So, look, I got nothing. Here's my thing. It's possible that she has only had sex 11 times and is unlucky and not smart. So I'm not saying she's a whore because she hasn't many kids. I'm saying she's dumb.
If she loves being a mom, then she's very lucky.
I don't think she does because I saw her kid for about an hour and a half and not her.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I asked my cousin, I was like, dude, she's 35. She's got a solid 10 years to still keep having babies. I mean, I was like, is she going to get on some kind of something? You know? And she's like, well, she doesn't want to use birth control because there are side effects of birth control like ovarian cancer, which is true. Like, there's worse things than cancer. And she said she doesn't want to get her tubes tied because she says she's scared of surgery, but not having kids. I feel like surgery, they knock you out, you wake up, everything's okay. Having a kid, you're screaming, holding hands with a man who quite possibly isn't the one who impregnated you. So anyway, she doesn't like to, she doesn't want any kind of birth control. So what she's doing is, she's like, yeah, her birth control now is she became a lesbian.
What?
Yeah, because, I mean, if somebody's just licking your box, you're not going to get pregnant, right? It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but that's not the form of...
Here's what it is, though. She started to act like a lesbian. She's clearly not one. You know what I mean? So if you became a lesbian, like, all of a sudden you, like, hit your head and you're like, I like chicks now. That would work.
Woke up this morning, loving badge.
Exactly. If that happened, that would be an effective form of birth control. But if you just say, I'm just going to fuck around with girls because I won't get pregnant, that doesn't. Because
he's like, someone stumbled out of bed and stumbled in vagina. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. So anyway. Dude.
Anyway.
So yeah, if you just popped your head and you woke up and you're like, all I love is women, you would probably not get pregnant anymore unless you got raped or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you just say like, I'm just going to fuck around with women, the first time, clearly you like penises and shit. Probably not shit as much as penises. The first time a dude comes around...
What's her name?
I'm not going to say it, but I can't remember
I feel like Mary.
It's somebody I think you probably know. Because of the names.
I don't know of anyone with 11 kids, but I could just know the person. Not exactly. Kids, yeah.
But because when they told me the name, I was like, man, she's my age. She's from my town, so I probably went to school with her. When they told me the name, I was like, man, that sounds familiar, but I can't even remember it now, and I wouldn't say it anyway. But so she has 11 kids from either 10 or 11 different dads, and her form of birth control is lesbianism. Which, I mean, I wish her luck. Maybe in 10 years it's like, oh, she never had anyone. But, you know, she could live to be 300 and never have another kid, and it's still too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you were fertile for another 20 years, which she won't be, I guess. But, yeah. So, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that because I liked the idea of being a lesbian as a form of birth control.
Just to not have, you know, they're like, fuck taking a pill. I ain't paying $9 a month.
I'll just eat snatch.
Yeah, I just won't fuck people. I just won't fuck.
That's the way to. I mean, that is the most effective form of birth control. Not having sex.
Yeah.
But I feel like she has problems with impulse control.
She's like, I gotta fuck someone. Right? You know, like,
that's what's funny.
Yeah, she's like, it may not be dudes this time, right? Right? She's gonna be the lesbian Mary, or she's gonna still get pregnant, right? Right?
She's the lesbian hope. All right. Anyway,
Josephine's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Right?
It took me a minute to get that. Oh shit, dude! Did you see the thing where there's a store in Pennsylvania that has robot assistants?
Like, there's one manager,
Maybe a robot manager.
and his assistants are robots.
Robot.
I'm a manager, and sometimes I wish my assistant
What's
was
funny
a
is
robot.
you took the word assistants different than I did, and I took it wrong the first time I read. All right, you're gonna think I'm like,
How? What are they?
I didn't
Like cashiers or something?
yeah, I think so. It's like it's like it keeps breaking the eggs. It doesn't know its own strength. I don't know. But the first time I read it, and it like, I swear I'm not like saying this for comedic effect. I thought it said a store in Pennsylvania now has several robot assassins.
Assassins?
I was like, why? I was like, why? Is
Assassins?
shoplifting that bad in Pennsylvania? I really read it like that. And for like, you know how you read something wrong? It's like, it probably wasn't even a whole second that I thought it said that.
It's like a fucking T-2000, right? some kid's grabbing a Snickers, slipping it into his pocket, and he just gets mowed down by, like, fucking, you know?
Instead of saying, thank you, come again, it's like, you'll be back.
They're like, okay, I will. Right? Oh, shit.
I really, when I first read it for like a split second, my mind went through this whole scenario of like, you're in a store and you like sneak a Snickers into your pocket, and you just get fucking, something just grabs you and crushes your head. Or like its arm turns into a sword that sticks it through your neck.
It's like, how it feels to chew 5 gum. Right after its head's crushed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But it was.
We're not brought to you by 5 gum.
No, not yet. They haven't called. But it was funny because, like I said, it probably wasn't even a full second that I thought it said assassins, but my mind made a whole movie about it. It was like, it's this town, it's Detroit.
You're sitting there eating popcorn, looking up.
Shoplifting has gotten out of control. The stores don't know what to do. They're losing. And
you hear like sirens in the background, right? Yeah, and you're like, oh, assistants.
And then it's like,
credits roll. Right? That's the post credits.
but just I want to live the rest of my life in the world that my head was in for that second that I thought it said assassins. Because I was like, what's going on in Pennsylvania? I mean, it seems like it's Amish country.
It's like, in a world. Right? It's like,
in a world where a bag of Doritos is too tempting to walk past. You hear somebody's trying to sneak a bag of Doritos, and it makes, it's like loud.
Convenience store.
And it's like they try to get that bag of Doritos, and it makes that loud noise, and just out of nowhere, fucking robot assassin.
Chips are flying everywhere. Like,
a robot assassin just grabs him and smashes his head on the floor.
oh shit.
But robot assassins. But aside from me misreading it, robot assistants, it's probably like self-checkout.
Yeah.
But I imagine like, would you like that kind of shit. But I didn't read the whole story. I just read the headline.
Like, I was like, hey, I can't get that off the top shelf. And it's like a robot walking over there.
It falls over. It's like a turtle on its back. The technology's not great yet.
Oh,
that guy's
shit.
like, if they were assassins, I think I'd get away.
They give them life alerts, right? When they fall, they can't.
I just imagine, like, because when you think of robots, what do you see? I say robot assistants. What is in your head?
Like,
what do you think, like, in your head, what you want them to look like? Like,
what I want them to look like.
You're walking in a store, you can't read something, what shows up to
what
you?
I want them to look like is like off of iRobot.
iRobot. Is that the white
The robots on that one? Yeah, Will Smith was in it.
Yeah. I don't like those. They're too non-threatening.
Those were good robots.
I seriously think I have two. Either Johnny Five,
oh,
because that would be
God.
hilarious.
We were talking about him the other day.
Or like Terminator. Like, not that it's like Terminator, but it's like, it has all the parts of a human, but it's just like clearly like just metal, like cling, cling.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the red eyes and the creepy skull.
I was at work the other day, and somebody said something like they had like some mirrors placed a certain way, and like, look, it looks like short circuit. I'm like, Johnny Five immediately, and they're like, "That's his name."
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a good 30 years.
They said for like hours they're trying to remember that robot's name without Googling it. Right, and they're all like, "Hey, look! It looks like the short circuit thing." I was like, "Johnny Five."
Yeah,
immediately, and they're all like,
"Johnny Five."
That's what it is. Of course, we should have asked you.
Johnny Five sounds like it's a prequel to Con Air. You know, Johnny 23. It's when he was just getting started. But no, yeah, Johnny Five. I probably seriously haven't seen that movie in way over 20 years.
It's been I mean,
I was a little kid last time I saw it.
There's two of them.
Yeah, and I just get them mixed up. And I might be wrong.
Or he's like in the city or something like
that.
Is
the dude in it the dude on Weekend at Bernie's?
What?
Is it? In my head it is. But also I thought they were robot
maybe.
assassins.
I mean, in the late 80s, he was like...
He was a couple... What happened to him? Is he just rich and like...
I doubt he's rich. He was probably just like comfortable, and then also jobs stopped coming in.
You know what not broke my heart, but made me like really see Hollywood actors different. So I was listening to a podcast years ago, like 2011 or whatever, when I first started listening to podcasts, and the guest was Matthew Lillard. You know?
Oh yeah.
You know, he's just like, "You little was here," that guy.
Yeah.
So
looks like Shaggy.
Yeah, he plays Shaggy.
Yeah.
The voice or whatever. I mean on the cartoon.
He played on the movie.
Yeah, but on the cartoon, he still does it. So he was talking about, I guess, like...
Hey, Scoob! Right?
You do voices so good.
I could do it a lot better if it wasn't, like, if I can prepare.
We need to come on one day, and I'll just be like, I have...
Like,
I'm like, I have in studio with me today, Matthew Lillard, and you just say just nothing but racist stuff.
And they're like, you never would have guessed what he said on there.
I'm like, I don't know, Matthew. I think black people are great.
What stinks? Oh, shit.
You're like, Minority Report is what you want to do when you see Mexicans.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
No. So Matthew Lillard was on there. I think it was on Jay Moore's podcast. And he was talking about, like, misconceptions in Hollywood. Because Jay Moore has, like, been in huge movies. He's done big tours and stand-up his whole life.
He's done shit movies, too, though.
But I'm saying, he was in fucking Jerry Maguire. He steals the scenes he's in.
Yeah, he does.
You know, so, it's, you know, for whatever you might think of Jay Moore, like, I always just thought, like, yeah, Jay Moore's a movie star. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought that.
He does very good impressions.
Yeah, he does great He's better in impressions than acting, and I think he's a pretty good actor. His stand-up I'm not a huge fan of, but I get...
Well, what happens is he's not like a great actor. He plays a certain character that I like in movies.
I don't know. He's pretty good.
I don't think he plays a...
I mean, he's not the... What's the dude?
What?
My Milkshake. That guy. He's not him.
Oh, yeah.
Or your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what people say Marlon Brando, but, you know what I mean? But no.
Daniel Day-Lewis. He's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking... But that guy also, I don't think... I'm not going to say he doesn't enjoy his life, but you know when you see magazines and Leonardo DiCaprio is sitting on a beach surrounded by beautiful women? You know, he's, coming up on 40, surrounded by 26-year-old. Whatever the perfect age when a woman is, like, peaks. 27, 26, 28. Whatever it is, he knows it, and they're all that age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see that, and you're like... First of all, that life doesn't look... I mean, it looks kind of appealing, but it looks kind of shallow. Like, he goes home at night, and he's like, man, they just like me because what... But anyway...
He's like, man, don't you like getting that cheaper car insurance? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, leave.
Yeah. So anyway, you always think that because they're in movies and because you like them in movies, they're, like, rich and famous. And Matthew Lillard was talking about how, like, yeah, you know, people say, like, oh, you must be rich because of this and that. And he's like, no. He's like, I have to work constantly. He's like, if jobs ever stop coming in, like, I don't know what would happen. He's like, I own my own house because I guess he did a big movie and, like, bought a house outright or, you know, paid it off quick or whatever. He's like, I own my house, which is good. He's like, but, you know, like, taxes are high and bills and you got kids. It was just like if I was talking to you. And you were like, yeah, you know, I mean, I own the house, but I mean, you know, the tax...
That's why they do, like, commercials and shit.
Exactly. But I remember thinking, like, wait, what? Matthew Lillard isn't... I was like, I don't know. I just figured he had, like, $300 million. Like, I don't know. He's in a bunch of good movies. He's you know, he's so recognizable, too, because he's such a good, like, character. Like, when he's in a scene, you don't be like, who was that guy? You know.
SLC Punk.
Exactly. He's in that. They should have gave him $100 million for being in that movie because it was so good. Yeah. But so
they take it back away.
Yeah, that's where they got. That's why he's broke. That's why he's broke. But when he said it, and Jay Moore said the same thing. He's like, yeah, people think like, oh, you were in Jerry Maguire, you were in whatever. You know, you must be what? And he's like, no. He's like, I have to. You know, because Jay Moore, I guess, does like the sports radio still. And so he's like, yeah. He's like, he said, when you're famous, there's a misconception where it's that. Now, there are people that Tom Cruise, if the movie roles stopped coming in, I'm sure he'd be fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, you know, and you know
he'd
that
go fucking even crazier.
Yeah, but that top level, you know, that's one thing. But like even actors, like I was like, Jay Moore's not rich, Matthew Lillard's not rich. I was like, what must they think of me? Like they're like, I don't know, I struggle, and I'm like, dude, struggle, sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
but it really stuck with me because again, like Matthew Lillard, the dude that was the best one in Scream, the dude that was in that one rafting movie with the dude, the one you haven't seen, up the river,
Without a Paddle.
Yeah, I was not getting closer. To it.
Seriously, still have never.
I want you to never watch it. And I like the movie. It's like, it's fine. You know, it's a silly comedy from that time period. But I want you to never watch it because, like, you need stuff like that.
I watch so many movies. I mean, I've just seen so many movies, but I've never.
It's weird that you didn't see one that was a popular young adult teenager type of movie when you were that age.
Yeah.
You were like 16. People your age were like, dude, did you see?
I was like, either I was drunk or I had passed, like, or I was just.
I think we watched it one time when you were. Remember that one night when we were over at Heath's house and you were like.
Tranquilizer?
Yeah, you took 2 tranquilizers and drank like a bunch of whiskey. And then we thought you were dead because you had just had a heart attack. I think we watched it that night. I'm pretty sure we watched without it.
And you woke me up and told me I had to drive.
Dude, you're making me sound like the bad guy here.
I was like 17.
So here's what happened. Dwight Smith, or whatever, was, you were in high school. An adult. If we were going to like the Middle Ages, you'd be considered an adult.
Yeah, I had a heart attack when I was 17.
Yeah, so and, this was a couple of days later. No.
Yeah, no. And then was like once I got like better, you know, in shape, and best part of my life, then I started drinking.
Yeah.
With my brother and my cousins, and
we did not fuck around when we used to like party.
And then they used to take horse tranquilizer pills, and I guess horse tranquilizer, is that what they were, right?
They were.
We always have said they were.
They were. What do you call it?
Weren't they outdated though too?
They were way outdated. I can't remember if they weren't for people. I think they were for people. They were like a sedative type of pill, but they were high dosage, and we would take a bunch. And I think the reason we called them horse tranks was because if you went by, like, if you weigh this much, take this much. How much we took was if you weighed like 1,200 pounds or something like that.
We just took them.
Why didn't we die?
With alcohol.
Why didn't we die?
I mean, there's people that do stupider shit, you know?
No, there are, and there are also people who do.
What if this big rubber band around my leg or around my arm and just put a needle in me?
Okay, yeah.
With this shit that I put in a fucking spoon.
Yeah, a dirty
like,
spoon.
What the fuck are you doing?
On that spoon,
you know what I mean? You heat up a spoon, pour it in like little rocks, and now it's like melting. You're going to inject it into your fucking arm and then undo a rubber band and just lay there?
That's the one. Heroin is the one that...
Fucking shit.
I'd love to try because it must be great. Yeah. But it's the one that when you like drugs...
You're like, I love to try, I just don't like needles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if you like drugs...
There were a simpler way.
And then one day you're like, well, I like this drug and that drug, but, you know, they're not that great. I'm going to try heroin. It seems like something in your head would be like, everything in your ever has said heroin's... There's never been like, no, heroin's great. Like, it's always been bad. Everybody's always said it's bad. You don't ever hear a kind word about heroin.
You're like, I love to try it. It's the only thing that can make it easier. Like a marijuana. You just got marijuana like soaked in that juice in the spoon, right? And you're like, let's smoke it.
What if you just drank heroin? Is that a thing?
Oh, no. Remember that on Whitest Kids You Know when he had that gallon of PCP?
Oh, yeah.
When he's like just running through the park and the guy stops him and he's like, hey, man, I ain't seen you in a while. You know, and he's like, yeah, he's like, what are you doing? It's, oh, nothing, this. You know, and then he's like, what's that? He's like, it's a PCP. You know what I mean?
Dude, that show, does it get the respect that you...
No. I mean, like, we're talking about like 10 years ago is when it was on like at 4 a.m. So
it was
those guys don't do anything really anymore.
But you know what it was is that
they all have jobs.
Trevor?
Probably. Yeah, Trevor Moore.
Okay, so when he was a kid, he was like always into like being funny and stuff. Like he wanted to perform. So this was back, I guess he's probably like a little older than me, maybe somewhere late 30s, early 40s. So when he was in high school, I guess it was like the mid to late 90s. And so he would started doing this cable access show. So you go down to the studio and you get to film, and it's like, I guess you just pay a little bit and then you're just on TV, cable access. There's a channel that you're just on, like a local channel. And he would do like...
usually religious people pay that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So he would just do his little sketch show, and he said that there was a lot of freedom, like they would kind of let him get away with a lot because of whatever is on cable. But yeah, that's how he started. And, I mean, this show, The Whitest Kid You Know, was a great show.
Yeah,
like, I miss it. Remember the Slow Jack one? You know how like when somebody says something dumb, you do like you motion like you're masturbating to like make fun of them? But he would do it slow.
Yeah, that one it wasn't him though, was it?
It was whoever it was. I think it was probably him. He was usually
it seems like it'd be him, but he also said things funny, so he could make fun of that very well.
Yeah. But anyway,
I think someone kept doing it. I thought it was the little short white dude.
It might have been.
Or they're all white, but I mean the blonde shaved head one though. But anyways, he's doing like real. He's like, no, you don't do it slow. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's doing like real slow. He's like, they never touch.
He like makes eye contact.
You never finish.
Yeah. So yeah, Whitest Kids You Know.
I don't know how many episodes they had, but I think I've seen them all.
We used to watch them all the time at night.
And then you can watch them on YouTube and stuff.
I better not find out he's like makes $20,000 a year and barely gets by.
He probably does.
Sad that Matthew Lillard wasn't rich. I don't know why I care.
I mean, if you found out that Matthew Lillard isn't rich, this guy, come on.
He was on Miss
March. Yeah, he's done a couple other movies.
Say what you want. That's a good movie.
The other guy in that has done another movie since then. I think maybe a couple, but I mean they've done a couple. They were the ones that actually went and did stuff, but. Yeah, they didn't really. Get a New Daddy. I mean, the fucking songs he had were just... It's completely like... It seems unfiltered.
But that is besides Chappelle Show, I think that's the next of my favorite.
That's like the white version of the Chappelle Show, kind of.
I mean, it's the only one that I think comes close to it as far as sketch shows. Like, I mean, I mean, in recent...
Sketch shows, yeah.
I mean, in recent, in my, like... because I know that people that, like, back in the day, like, thought Kids in the Hall and all that. But I'm saying, for my, like, if you're my age and you didn't watch Kids in the Hall, really, and, yeah. So, like, for me, it was them and Chappelle Show, and Carlos Mencia's show sucked.
Saturday Night Live has had its good and bad.
Saturday Night Live is always up and down. Usually you can count on one good sketch or one good whatever per show.
I've been, like...
And I like Weekend Update.
I've been, like, trained to watch all those kind of things because, of course, Dave Chappelle, Whitest Kids You Know, Saturday Night Live. I even watched fucking all that when I was a kid.
I never watched that crap.
I mean, it's just like fucking Saturday Night Live. It's just kids.
It's dorky.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, and I guess there's still shows like that.
Saturday Night Live, though, I started watching it when Michael Che got on as Weekend Update because I was a big fan of his. So I started watching it, and I used to just when he first got on there, I would just watch Weekend Update. I would just record it and just watch that, just to see him. And then I started watching some more of the show, and it's funny off and on here and there. But one thing that I didn't like, not that I didn't like, I mean, I don't care what they do, it's their show, but it seemed like for a while, and I don't know if they're still doing it, I'm not caught up, that they were just trying to get like, oh yeah, you show him. Claps for making fun of the president.
They still do.
I like that they make fun of the president. You should always make fun of the president, no matter who he is.
They had that James McAvoy guy. They got. Oh
yeah.
They had him on there the other day. It might have been a few weeks ago now, but they had him on there, and they did a lot of Trump stuff.
Well, it's good. I don't care what you do, as long as it's funny. And sometimes they're funny with Trump stuff, but also most of the time it's like, okay, we get it. Alec Baldwin is going to do an over-the-top impression, which was funny for a little while, but then it just becomes like...
Then it was just, like, repetitive. Like,
it's like, oh, you're just going to squeeze your lips together, say stuff that's dumb, and, like, it's fine.
I think that's probably why he stopped doing it, too, though.
And just, like, I don't have to say who I like and don't like. I don't trust anyone who likes any president, who, like, loves any president. Donald Trump, it seems like a buffoon to me. I can't believe he's who y'all picked, but... because you had to pick between him and Hillary, I kind of get it. They both sucked. I
mean,
don't know. Pick a dude. Dudes are smarter.
It's like, how the fuck did either of them get to the finalists?
I feel like.
What I mean? But how did he? Definitely. At least she is a politician in ways.
One time,
he's just a fucking businessman.
That's the reason he made it in there, is because he was an outsider. They were tired of the same old shit, and this guy's going to shake things up.
He is.
Yeah, he should be.
You know what I mean?
But most of what people don't like about him is stuff that nobody would like about a person. It's like, I'm going to grab him by the pussy. And it's like, yeah, I mean, when somebody says, if somebody says that, like, okay, let's just, for 1 second, let's be honest. If me and you were sitting at a football game, we talk crazy. More unfiltered than the podcast.
Yeah, grab him by the pussy is nothing.
If a girl walked by and you were like, and you wanted to make me laugh, and you were like, hey, it's whatever, and you're like, I'd grab her by the pussy. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, you're a terrible person.
You'd be like, dude, oh my God, and you move.
I'll say this. You said something worse before at a football game.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't because you wanted to do that. Or
10.
Yeah. The girl was a 10.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because you thought that was the correct. It's because you knew it wasn't the right thing to say is why you said it.
That's why it's funny.
That's why it's funny.
It's not like he's like, I grab her by the pussy, and they're like, that's wrong, and I know you, that's funny.
But I don't think he meant it like that. He was bragging about being rich. He's like, yeah, when you're rich, you can do anything. Just grab. I don't think he literally walked up to a woman and he's like, boom. He's like, got it.
Yeah, but he grabs it and she's like, what do I do? He's rich.
How do you
She's
can't
like,
really,
damn it.
What is funny though is that they always make jokes that he has small hands, and unless she's got a really fat vagina, you can't really get a hold of him. It's, you know what I mean? It's like it's like trying to palm a basketball.
He's a pinch.
You get either pinch or you just gotta like cup.
Yeah.
And just like keep up with her as she walks. But if she has big thighs, your hands
grab them by the. I mean, that's.
I get what he's saying though. He's like, yeah, when you're rich and you're famous, it doesn't matter. Like, women just let you do whatever you want. You just grab them.
That's just the lifestyles of the.
That the guy who said that then got elected as president is crazy. That a guy said that isn't crazy to me. Like I said, if you ever want...
a guy said that? Yeah.
Sit with us at a football game one day, and you will either be balled over laughing or crying. Yeah. Because we're two guys, and we just try to make each other laugh.
That's like, anytime me and you are in the same room together...
I mean, Brooks is done. Fucking up syndrome.
Dude,
the best. The greatest moment in me and you at a football game ever.
Which one?
When the lady who of Asian descent upset you.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, that was just.
But that wasn't you trying to be funny. That was you angry. But men, if Donald Trump had said, if he had been, it's stupid that we're even talking about this. It happened so long ago. But if Donald Trump had been sitting there talking, he didn't know the mic was on, and like a girl walked by and he was like, "Damn, look at that ass," and he's like, "I'd like to take a bite out of it," or whatever he says, right? And remember, I'd like to take a bite out of her ass and keep a piece of my cheek like a squirrel.
Store it in my cheek for winter.
If Donald Trump said that, he wanted to take a bite out of that girl's ass, store it in his cheek till winter, and people got mad, I'd be like, come on, that's funny.
But he's like, I'm rich, I could grab her by the pussy and get away with it.
So when he got elected, and I was like, okay, so it's crazy that the guy who's the president says shit like that. I'd say shit. I wouldn't say shit like that because he was just trying to brag about how powerful he was. But I would say things that are just as gross as that. But I would be saying them to get a laugh. But yeah, so we picked him. We picked the pussy grabber instead of a pussy haver. Let's face it. Hillary Clinton has grabbed pussies, if you count her own, way more than Donald Trump has. Do you grab your pussy? I guess you don't really. You don't see girls grabbing, like, you know how sometimes you be sitting there watching a movie, you don't realize it, but your hands are just like on your balls. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
Let's say it's cold. It's kind of cold, so you put your hand between here and close your legs.
No.
Just to keep your hand warm. It's cold in our house.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like,
we got blankets.
Sometimes you'll just casually have your hand just sitting in your lap. Right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm just saying, you don't see women do that. You don't see a woman just casually have her hand cupped over her vagina.
She's at a game. Her legs just spread and her hands just sitting there like that. You
don't see that.
She's scratching her ass.
I don't know that they don't do it or they just don't do it like in public.
It's just.
Yeah, that's the kind of that's a lesbian. That's a birth control type girlfriend. But so that SNL that SNL was just kind of like going on the president thing. They always do it though. I'm not saying that it's because it was Trump, because I don't like Trump. I'm not a Trump like I said, I don't support any president. I think it's weird to be in love with a president, but I'm not a Trump guy or anything like that.
You're like, I'm proud to be... No.
I'm not really not. I say, when I talk about the elected official, I say that y'all picked, because, like, I don't vote. I don't know. But,
I voted for Obama once.
Last year?
The first time.
The year he wasn't running. Yeah. But what we need...
You know, like, whenever you're voting, you know, and there's, like, the other, and then you have to, like, explain.
Yeah.
You know, you type in, like, what your other is.
No, actually, I don't know. But
so it's like bubble, like Trump, and then, like, bubble, and then it's... And you click each one. If there was an other, and if we all just happen to type the same person, that person gets it.
Like, what if everybody typed your name? Like, let's just say, okay, yeah, let's just say, just randomly, they're like, I don't know, fake name, Dwight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, he had a really good game.
Yeah, like the guy who used to, whatever.
And he had, like, a really good game, and then like, he fucking home run hitting. Right, so someone says Dwight Smith, but they thought his middle initial was A, so they put my middle initial. So, and somehow I get it.
Would you just
I get a thing in the mail, and it's like, congratulations, you're the president of the United States. Right? And I'm like, oh, I'll throw it away. That's some weird joke mail, right?
A million, like...
I'm just used to, like, 50 different credit card applications. I didn't think it was
It's like one of those, you won 10,000. Inquire inside. You're like, yeah, I'm the president, sure.
Go to Ford dealership, and you'll claim it.
You're like, sure, Capital One, I'm the president.
I get this thing, and it's like, scratch these 3 things.
You can be president.
I'm like, well,
I feel like that's how we picked him. Hillary's just didn't have a lucky penny. That's why she's not the president.
Oh, shit.
But, yeah, so, you know, they made fun of Clinton. They made fun of Bush. SNL will make fun of Republican presidents more harshly because...
they didn't make fun of Obama a lot.
As harshly.
They had a black dude that dressed up like him, and he was at things, doing weird things, but they didn't make fun of him.
Well, here's what I'll say. Just to give SNL a little bit of credit. They did make fun of him a little bit, but they also...
His ears.
They made fun of stuff like that, but also what they're making fun of Trump for is that he's, like, incompetent and this, which is, like, how a lot of people feel.
Also, he showed up on the episode. They made fun of him real big time.
Who did?
Obama.
Oh. Anyway.
You didn't know that?
I mean, I didn't
They had him, the black dude was on, he had his ears, and he's saying stuff, you know? And then Obama, shows up.
Clip, yeah.
And I was like, what? He's on there?
He should have made fun of himself.
What the hell, you know? But, I mean, he was cool like that, though.
But
he took jokes.
But what I'm saying is they make fun of... Like, they wouldn't make fun of Bill Clinton that he's stupid. Because Bill Clinton was real smart. So they make fun of him that he, like, you know, the blowjob stuff or the whatever, right? That's what they make fun. Like, George Bush, they wouldn't make fun of George Bush that he's got big ears. They make fun of him because he's, like, silly and bumbling. So it's like they're making fun of. It's just that I think they're probably more harsh on Republicans because the show, you know, most of Hollywood is like kind of liberal and definitely like that show is kind of. It's in New York and all that. But I don't care what they do. I don't care. I mean, they like making fun of them. And it's good for their. It's just I don't like to watch. It's just to me it's boring when I see that. What's the guy? Oh fuck! It's weird that I can't think of his name. Robert De Niro. Yeah. He goes over and he plays some guy, and it's like. It's just because he doesn't like Trump. But he goes and plays some guy, and he's just like, you can see him, like, almost pointing his finger to read the cue cards. It's like, I mean, I get it. You don't like the president, and you want to, like, but come on, man. Yeah. Be funny. You got to be funny first. You're SNL. You know what I'm saying? Funny first. You want to make fun of Trump on every sketch. You can if you're good enough to write sketches that are funny every time.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, sometimes they're just not.
They got to, like, watch what they say. They'll say stuff about the president because it's, like, somehow just okay to make fun of the president, right? But they don't say stuff about, like, gay people. You know what I mean? It's like they'll be, like, making all these comments about whatever he'll say and whatever he's done, but they're real like, oh, we can't say this or we won't have viewers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? People aren't going to watch NBC anymore because of this.
Because of the whole like the whole like PC culture that we live in now. There are taboos, so you couldn't say like you would never see on SNL a sketch where the good guy is like, yeah, fucking trannies. Even the bad guy, they just wouldn't say it. They wouldn't say like anything negative about gays. They wouldn't say that like. You know what's a funny joke a lot? I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe it gets old for women. But you know when you make a joke like that women aren't as capable or smart? Like you just like an offhand joke. You know, your wife will be like, you you know, hey, could you run to the store and pick up the groceries? You're like, why? Because women aren't smart enough to get the right, you know, something like that. Not that that's funny, but, you know, you do that. You'll never see that on there unless the guy who says that is like the butt of the joke. Yeah, but they will straight up make fun of the president and his wife and his sons are retarded and like, which I'm fine with. You should be able to make fun of anybody. But in saying that, you should be able to make fun of anybody. If you make fun of me on SNL, like, okay, I get it. You know, of course you would. I mean, you know, if there was a reason to.
They'll straight up just make fun of everything about him. But like, they
do set limits. And you could say, like, well, it's their show, so they don't like to make jokes. That's fine. I get that. I get that. That they don't, but you can't tell me Michael Che doesn't have any good racist.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I know he hits on race stuff on the show because he's a black dude, but I'm saying like real racist jokes, like real or not even racist, like gay or whatever, or
things he could probably say on BET, not NBC.
Yeah, right? Or just like you go like it's just like always.
Is BET still a channel?
I don't know, dude.
I don't have it. I mean, I don't think it's like.
It comes with the package you got, but you told him to get it off anyway. You're like, scrub that.
Like, it costs $10 to remove it. Yeah, I'm like, take 20. Do it now. Right? I don't want to accidentally change it to that. My kids listen, right?
Dude, that wouldn't be on SNL.
No.
Oh, that's so good, dude. Oh, that's so good. But, yeah, so they limit them, but like I said, you can't say they limit themselves. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just don't think that those like gay jokes or whatever are fun. A lot of people
they think they're funny. They're afraid.
Now, but here's the thing: if they are funny, it's undeniable. You may not think that when I say something negative about certain groups that it's funny. That's fine. But there are comedians that are so much funnier than me. I guarantee you. Take the top comedians in the world, like Big J. Okerson, right? He's one of the best comedians in the world. Okay. Or one of the funniest guys. He can for sure make a joke about all the things that you think are over the limits. Women or gay or
it's how you present it.
And if it's funny, you know that his position is trying to make you laugh because, I mean, he literally is called a comic.
Yeah, if you go to his show, you're like, oh, look, he's there. Yeah. I heard he's funny. And he's going to say so. You have to know that whatever he's saying, he is, like, making jokes.
Even if you were to go...
And you're there to laugh.
Yeah, well, you know what they always say, like what I've heard a lot of...
I don't like jokes about gays.
Yeah, but you were okay laughing about dead babies.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, but you're not okay with laughing about dead gabies. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I was going to say rabies. They don't get rabies, they get AIDSies. So you can't say that there's no funny whatever jokes, because there are, because I've heard them. And there are. But, like I said, you can't, I don't care what they have on their show. Don't you get the feeling that they'll, like you said, they'll go as hard as they can on Trump or on whoever but they would never go that hard on fucking Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, right? They would never go that hard. And what's the difference? Person in their 70s, tall? What is the difference between Trump and Bruce Jenner? But I'm saying, an older person, he has political views similar to Trump's. He's real right-wing, conservative, anti-gay.
One of them is athletic.
I'm not
the other one's
that
pathetic.
Yeah, I know. Bruce Jenner is pathetic. Do you think...
Have you seen the one where he wears this, there was a thing where it says... it shows a picture of, I think it's Kylie or whatever, one of them.
Kylie.
Anyway, Kylie Jenner.
Oh, I was thinking of
where it's
Trump.
When you realized your dad wore the same dress, and they're wearing the same dress. It's got, certain holes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you know what...
Him and her are both wearing the same dress to, a party.
Yeah, but she's wearing, a size 2, and he's wearing, a size 37.
She looks fucking good in hers, and...
He doesn't?
Really? He's he looks like a fucking man in a dress. That's what it is. Anytime someone's all like, isn't Caitlyn just beautiful? I'm like, it looks like a man in a dress with makeup.
But it doesn't just look like a man in a dress. It's a particularly large, very athletic man.
Yes.
He was an Olympic gold medalist.
It's I feel like he's going to be at that GameStop, and he's like, it's ma'am. That video.
Well, you could say you ever see Serena Williams dressed nice? She's I think Serena Williams is fairly pretty, and she's that. But when you see her dress, you're like, dresses just aren't made for you.
No.
Like,
no, this one was actually made for me.
like, nope.
Shouldn't have been.
But I mean, it's not even that she doesn't look good in them. It's just that she's so strong and athletic that it's like a dress doesn't like do her justice.
Someone's like, hey, Serena, flex. It pops off. Right? It's just like...
little muscly ass tits are sticking out. But, yeah, so Bruce Jenner, they don't make fun of him as hard as... And like I said, I don't care who they make fun of. I find it interesting that they'll go as hard as they do against one person. I get why they go after the president. You have to. He's the most famous person in the country.
Everyone knows who that is. Everyone knows that he talks
You
funny.
have to talk about the president.
Everyone knows he's orange. Yeah. And his hair is coming off. Or he's bald or whatever underneath.
And I don't know if it's just me, but like the dude that plays him, it's like a so-so impression.
Have you heard the joke about that he said though? What's the difference between... Or what is it? What's the difference between like a raccoon and his hair or something like that? He's like, the raccoon doesn't have $7 billion frickin' dollars.
That was on something.
That was something, yeah.
Oh, he was on a roast. They did a roast. Yeah, you know, back then all you would hear was that he was like a cool guy. I think he is. Yeah. I think like I don't think he should be president.
I think he probably used to be,
and I don't think I would like him.
I think he used to be cool, right? And then, like, business, he got older, and, like...
I mean, he's 71.
Those older jokes...
How many 70-year-olds are cool?
Those older jokes don't go too well anymore.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think I personally would like him, because I feel like it seems like he's kind of like, I'm rich, you're not, so what? You know, like kind of like bragging about it or something. I wouldn't like that. But I've always heard that, like, no, he's, like, kind of funny, and he's this and that, which is great. You're pretty funny. I don't want you to be the president.
Yeah.
For one thing, they're going to, you know... Dig it, like, to people when you become president. They're like,
oh, me?
They're like, we need dirt on him. And they're like, one time they talked about robbing apartments. I'm like, yeah. But,
I, like, go to jail. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I just wasn't going to be president anymore. I'm like doing a hard time. like, dug up evidence. You know what I mean? Like,
and by evidence, you mean episode 26.
I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, it's not even the end of fucking November. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not even, you're like a lame duck president or whatever it's called.
I'm sitting there giving my fucking inaugurational speech.
Speech.
Right?
Yeah.
And, like, I got handcuffs behind me. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell? George Bush is still trying to figure out his raincoat.
George Bush is struggling with his raincoat. You're like, 4 score and 7 years. You're like, clink.
You're like, why is he doing that accent?
And why is he doing the Gettysburg Address?
You know what I mean?
Our forefathers. They're like, it was way longer ago than that. But, yeah, if I was the president...
5 fathers?
If you're like 12 score,
Yeah.
If I was the president, every time I did a speech, I would do my best attempt at a Kennedy accent, which I'm not good at, but that's when I think of president, I think of John Kennedy, and
I would say by the end of 2000 teens, we'd be on Mars.
If you were president? Oh, yeah, like he did.
Just like he did. And they're like, shit, we got a year.
I set this goal for this country. You know, however he talks. I always sound like him if he grew up half his life in the South. It's like Kennedy from Martha's Vineyard, not New Orleans. Yeah, if he was from Martha's Vineyard, New Orleans, that's what he'd sound like. He's like, I'm riding in my convertible. But, I always think if I was... I mean, I could never be president because all the things you don't like about Trump, like that he says, like, stuff he shouldn't say... Like, I say way worse stuff. I don't say, like to grab him by the pussy or anything, but I mean, we talked about a piñata full of goo or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if they pull that up and they're like, is this the one you want to be? Is it not recording anymore?
I don't know. Let's keep going.
Is this the person that you want to be your president? And it's like, I'll build that wall or whatever. But then they play mine. They're like, is this the guy you want president? I'm like, yeah, wouldn't it be funny if somebody had a miscarriage and then they hit it, you know? So obviously, neither one of us could be president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, like,
SNL
I think I could be a president.
I think SNL, I would make SNL great
I'd
again.
Get killed, right? I mean,
well, you're too much of an asshole. I kind of like how Trump is kind of an asshole. You're enough of an asshole that I think you'd be good at negotiating, except you would probably get us all killed.
Yeah.
You know, like...
I'd be like, all right.
You're like, fuck all the Russians. Yeah. Fuck you, Putin. bend over.
You know what I mean? What killed us all?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You would lose your cool. Like,
I'm from America. Kill all of us.
You're like, look, hands behind my back. I won't push my red button. Push yours. I dare you. I dare you. Push
if you don't push it the next 5 fucking seconds, I'm pushing mine.
Right? I'm going to push it. I'm just going to like tap on it like it's
You're like,
X.
get the fuck out of the way. I'll push yours.
Yeah. I'll show you how much of a man I am. You push the Russian button.
You're like, oh wait, hold on. They actually go to something?
Because you know
I thought we were playing like fucking Family Feud or something.
Yeah, you're like,
I'd walk around with a fucking like a watch, which is a red button on it. You know what I mean? And I just push it.
Talks to you, be like, huh?
I have like the little Apple Watch, but it's like the red phone. You know what I mean? Like it's just like send the nukes, right?
But really, if somehow a guy with your temperament became president, they would probably pull the wires off of the red button, because I've seen you get mad and you're just like, you definitely, and I have it to a certain extent.
I'm like, fuck, dude, I got pissed earlier.
But you definitely like have like a burn it to the ground mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I do too, to a certain extent, but yours will be over like, I mean, like seriously, if you're a president and like they didn't set the table the right way, you're like, spoons on the left. Next thing you know, we're at war with Russia.
Yeah.
You know,
like what? They're like fucking spoons, man.
Because you take a hard stance on things that really don't matter at all to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, somebody doesn't use a turn signal or they park over the line and you
they don't say like we're in the little presidential like van or whatever they're in. You know, I'm like, I'm honking. Right? I'm leaning over the driver like honking at people.
You send all the nukes.
Like, what is it, sir? Like, he didn't use his blinker. Like, that's the cop that's leading us. Right? Should have fucking used his blinker.
You send all of our nukes, but not to like Russia or anything. You send them to your neighbor because his dog's barking. Yeah. You just blow yourself and him up, and you're glad you did it. That's what I know about you.
I'll be like, he had like tapes of, you know what I mean? They're like,
he was a spy.
They're like, sorry, Mr. President, but you have tapes.
Yeah.
Right?
Not only that, that was the vice president you picked.
Yeah.
Your neighbor. I feel like the vice president's your neighbor. He comes over in the morning. He steals your paper sometimes because he's mischievous.
Shitting on his lawn, right?
I don't know how the whole president, vice president thing works exactly.
It doesn't seem like they're friends. It just seems like they're coworkers.
No, yeah, what they are now is that you pick a running mate when you're running, once you get to the...
They're not at the same places very often, right?
I don't think so, for like security reasons.
Yeah.
But you pick like a running mate that you think, and a lot of times what they'll do is like what they did with Trump. Trump is like this outrageous, over the top, big personality. The guy who ran with him, Mike Pence, is like a real conservative, strict. So the Republican voters who like the whole like God, Bible, all that shit.
Yeah.
Like
fags.
Obviously.
Well, fags don't like God.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, he doesn't like us.
Obviously, they don't. If you're all Bible, you look at Trump and you're like, it's hard to. Clearly, he doesn't follow Jesus rules. Uh-huh. So you got the other guy. So you're like, well, I like the Republicans and I'll vote for them because I know Mike Pence is a good Christian man. So it's normally like that. What it used to be a long time ago was who got second place in the voting was the vice president. So it was two people that didn't like each other.
Oh,
and it was two people that were opposite sides. So like there were different names back then, but like, so say this year it would have been a Republican president and a Democrat. So Hillary Clinton would be the vice president.
And and then if he died, she's the president.
So what's crazy is if he dies, you're complete. We're real right wing. We're real Republican.
That's
government.
How it should be.
No, yeah, I think it should be too.
Because that way it's like, get the runner up.
But it's not. Yeah, but it's not so much so that if he dies,
if 51% of the United States picked this guy and 49% picked this person, then if this guy dies, at least still half of the fucking country picked the other guy.
But it's not even about if
nobody picked Pence. You know what I mean? No. Nobody picked Pence. He didn't make it to the final two.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So no one wanted him to be president.
No, but it's not, like I said, it's not even about if he dies, because that's like a rare thing here and there. But what it's about is
he's 71.
I know, but what
rare.
I'm saying is what the vice president is about is it's having the person who represents whatever 49% or whatever voted for that person in the office, like not at the highest office.
He's more than double the legal age to be president.
Yeah, he's more than double my age.
You know what I mean?
And I'm starting to break down.
You know what I mean? Yeah, legally you can be president. I can't be.
I don't think legally I can be president.
35.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're illegal the age.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, all they got to do.
I don't think I can be president. I couldn't even say legally, right? I think you have to know legal terms. Right?
I don't know. I don't know. The best president that we've had in my lifetime, and I say best not by his policies or anything like that, but the one I liked the most was George Bush because of. You ever listen to those compilations of him fucking up? And he's like, I believe humans and fish can coexist. And like, he's like, one of my favorites. He said,
I thought you were going to say good Bill Clinton. Right? Oh, shit.
Whenever they got the final tally in on electoral votes, he's like, well, I got the numbers. He left them apples.
Oh, shit.
But no, I like George Bush because I like those compilation videos of him saying like wacky stuff. Remember the one when he said he's talking about the terrorists and he's like, they are really convicted people about their cause, and so are we, and they want to harm our country, and so do we. like he clearly doesn't want to harm our country. It's just funny that he slipped up. You're the president, but I miss him because. Trump is entertaining because he says wacky shit, but Trump isn't funny to me. Like when I see him, I don't ever laugh at the content of what he says that often as much as I laugh at like, oh shit, the president said that.
Yeah.
But with Bush, I laugh because like
you're like 10 minutes ago on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's crazy.
But Bush.
No, Arnold, you're stupid, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Seriously.
Like that's straight up like
he really did that.
Like he really was sending messages to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, the president of the United States, who is a very famous, like he's known as a rich guy. You know, he's known for being a rich guy. Was texting back and forth with the Terminator.
Yeah.
And arguing.
Also a 70-something-year-old person, right?
That's him and Donald Trump and if you would have told me when I was a little kid, like in the 90s, like in the mid 90s, when I would have known who both of them were, and you say, hey, when you're like in your 30s, there's going to be, because I wouldn't know like what social media or text is, but you say there's going to be the Terminator and Donald Trump, who will be the president, are going to be arguing for everybody to see. I'll be like, wait, what? Like the Terminator.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump.
Just in the 90s.
I don't know which is weirder.
Like just in the 90s, like when like Trump was a known billionaire, right?
Yeah.
And
famous.
then Arnold Schwarzenegger was a known, like at
Terminator.
the time, very yeah.
He was a known Terminator.
You know what I mean? And then like
he killed the
right
president.
then you're like, they're gonna go at it.
Yeah.
Right?
It sounds like you're talking about some crazy action movie that wouldn't make much money.
You're like about childish things.
Yeah,
you know
no, yeah.
That's
about ratings on a show.
You know what I mean?
Not about like, it's not like the Terminator was like, you know, I don't like your policy on tax reform. And he was like, this is a good policy because it's going to put more money here. And then he's like, no, it'd be better if you... That would be like, yeah, I get it. But they're arguing over, like, the ratings on a show.
He's like, nobody has a pussy.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd do it. I was hoping you'd do it. Yeah, if he grabs a pussy, it just vaporizes the big-ass strong hand.
Yeah. Not anymore. I mean, it's like they're just big-ass hands.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably still pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean...
But yeah, so the Terminator and a billionaire walk into a bar. I mean, it's wacky. At least George Bush was, a lot of people hated George Bush. George Bush was, I guess, like a war criminal. I mean, you know, he just, he's not getting in trouble for that or anything, but, you know, he was a bad guy. Every president in the modern era has been a war criminal. I don't care what anybody says. But Bush was a pretty bad one, and this and that. But he was the president. His dad was president. He was a politician. You know, it makes more sense. He wasn't out arguing with the Terminator, or it wouldn't be the
Terminator. Just talking about a fucking wall.
Yeah. And
I know that's the joke everybody's making about when he's all like, Mexico's going to build this wall. It's going to be great, right? It's going to be fabulous.
And they're going to pay for it.
They're going to pay for it. And then it comes down to it's like, okay, we're going to pay for it, but we're going to send them the bill. Right? And then now it's all like, well, you're going to pay for it, and you're going to have to.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it, but to be fair,
right?
A lot of y'all are Mexicans because there hasn't been a wall.
Yeah.
So technically, Mexicans are going to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like,
he's like, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just like, but it's not great.
I wish it...
everyone's all like, oh yeah, he's a billionaire, he knows how to handle money, he's going to get us out of the hole. We're even more in the hole.
You know that I don't know the episode number. Years ago, you said that Donald Trump should run for president.
For those reasons?
You were like, I was like, I don't know. I was like, isn't he like kind of a dummy? Or like, you know? You're like, no, he's a good businessman.
He is a billionaire.
He's got a lot of money.
I didn't know he's an idiot.
I remember you were like that. He's clearly good with money.
I didn't know he was childish.
I remember at the time, at first I was like, that'd be crazy. And then you kind of talked me into it. I was like, maybe. And then now... Damn
it, I didn't know fucking Trump listened to our show back then.
Three or 4 years later, Donald Trump's the president.
We don't know, but there's like a tape somewhere. He's like, hey, I was listening to this podcast. and
this guy might make some good points.
Yeah. He's like, I think he's going to be my vice president when I'm there.
The only reason he didn't pick you is because
he couldn't fire me, and he was like, Pence.
No, I think the reason he didn't pick you was he wanted, like I said, they needed like that religious.
Yeah.
If it's Trump, clearly not religious, and you admit
he's like, I want stupid people behind me on this. It's money religious to help.
He's like, yeah, not Dwight stupid. I need Gotti stupid. Because you imagine, I feel like being the vice president is probably like a pretty easy job, Mm-hmm. Then he gets shot, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I was just here for like the free meals and hanging out in the Oval Office.
Yeah, he's like, those fucking Big Macs at the White House are pretty good.
I'll say this too, and again, people get mad, you take up for Trump. I liked the Big Mac. I liked the fast food picture. It was silly.
You saw what it was funny though, right? Because he's like, I'm sorry guys, the government shut down. This is all we could do. Big Macs. I mean, there's another restaurant you could order food
I thought he bought it from several different fast food. Know. But what I'm saying is, I liked that. It was
like Taco Bell, but what's funny was, there was a thing somewhere, it was a meme or whatever, and it said something about buying fast food for college students. Mm-hmm. Well, when they had a big accomplishment, they're like, "Oh, great!" You know what I mean? This is what we eat all the time. Now we get to hear and just
and not only cold. That, somebody had said they're like, yeah, these Clemson football players are the highly trained athletes at the very top of their game, and now they're eating cold fast food. They're specifically trained athletic machines. Of course they're college age kids, so they probably don't eat kale and all that all the time. But yeah. You got a guy with like 1% body fat, and he's in there eating. But watch them, they suck next year because they all got addicted to fast food. Their quarterback's fat. But I liked it, and one of the reasons I liked it was I like anytime the president looks like it seems like something I would do, and I understand that I shouldn't be president either.
I wonder if they pulled up in the presidential limo or whatever. And he's like, let him come to my window. Right? They pull up, and he's sitting there, and it's like a fucking,
he's like, let me
get limo. Right? He's like, I want 5,000 Big Macs.
He's like, okay. On the first one, cut the pickles. Second one, dry.
On the second one, slice the pickles. Oh, shit. The fourth one, a whole pickle on there.
One pickle. And don't say you can't do it.
Yeah.
Money is not an option.
Yeah. I want a cucumber on the seventh one.
People always say money's not an option. No. For me, money's not an option. Hey, I need you to...
for me, money is an option, so I'm going to buy 5,000.
Yeah. What I'm saying, if somebody said, a carpenter comes over because I got some issues on my house. And he's like, all right, what do you need done? I'm like, just fix everything. I want it all brand new. Money's not an option. Because money's not an option. How you get paid, money's not one of the options.
Yeah. You're like, fix everything, money's not an option.
Am I right? People say that
wrong. It comes down to it, and you're like, you know what I mean?
Money is no obstacle, is what you would say if you're rich. Money's not an option, is what you say when you're broke.
Money's not an option.
Money's not an option.
No, you're going to get him to fix everything because, fuck it, money's not an option.
Money's
you can pay him with.
I can give you high fives.
Right? You're like, hey, my wife made you a couple sandwiches.
Yeah, right? Sandwiches. I mean, do you like the crust cut off? Oh, not.
Come back every day, she'll make you another sandwich.
Yeah, a sandwich. And then I don't get paid until next week, so... I mean, it's just going to be cheese bread, but...
Yeah, but said next week, money's not an option.
Next week is bologna, so.
He's like, fuck.
But yeah, but am I right, though, that people say that wrong?
Yeah.
When people say... if you were a billionaire and you went to...
Money doesn't matter.
Money's no obstacle.
Yeah.
Money's not an option means, I can pay you with, seashells.
Yeah.
But money is not an option. People say that wrong. People have always said that wrong. Money is an option. When he bought those hamburgers, he used money. That was the only option he had. As a president, he could have got it free, maybe, but he's not a particularly popular president.
Maybe one, but 5,000? Yeah, I don't know how many fucking burgers he bought. I mean, there was 40-something, 50-something people there?
No, I mean, on the teams, if it's team, coaches,
Oh, we had coaches and all that
It's
stuff, too, yeah.
way over 100 for sure.
Yeah, but 5,000, I mean.
No, he probably bought a
50
couple hundred burgers.
But, I mean, of different kinds and all that.
You know what's crazy, though, is I saw that picture, but never, like, any memes for a little while. And I kept thinking, like, is that his snacks? Because you always hear that he eats a lot of fast food. I was like, is it?
He does?
Yeah, you always hear that's what he eats. Like, he eats junk food, fast food. You don't work out.
Like, there is a McDonald's in the White House now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, they're like in malls and then in stores. There's
he
like,
goes up there and they're like, that'll be $14.99. He's like, I forgot my wallet. And they're like, go get it. You know?
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. But,
yeah, go get it.
I like doing,
it's upstairs.
I like doing my Trump when you're not doing it. Because when you do it, mine sounds bad.
Yeah.
But, no, but, so, I always heard that he likes a lot of fast food, and I saw that picture. At first, I thought it was photoshopped. I thought it was a picture of him doing like this in front of some like bill he signed or something, and then somebody photoshopped burgers. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw a bunch of them, and I was like, well, I mean, maybe
there's like another guy in there with, and I'm like, nah, right?
I didn't know that it was.
You see this one with the guy with like missing his shirt? There's like a meme, and he's like standing there. I don't know like, who that is.
I didn't see.
But he doesn't have a shirt, and he's like hairy, and he's fat, and he's like pointing at something, and they just added him there.
Yeah,
I hope.
Funny.
I mean,
but yeah. So Donald Trump bought a lot of hamburgers. If I were to get invited to the White House, which is highly unlikely, but if I was and I went there, I mean, I'd be okay with eating fast food. But it's like I could eat that.
I mean, if anything, that's like a fucking
story.
A story if no one had already known about
Big Macs with Trump.
If there wasn't just known pictures taken of it, if he would like, all right, we're not gonna take no pictures, you know what I mean? And they are like, you'll never fucking. We went to the White House and ate McDonald's.
Like, and Trump's like, we're not taking any pictures because everybody makes fun of me for being fat.
No one would believe him, but there is pictures.
I'm saying not even like a highly publicized like the Clemson football team went, but like you get invited because. I don't know, like you save some kids from a fire or something, and they're, you know what, and they're like, you're invited to the thing, and you tell him, you're like, look, I don't want to make this like a big show, I'll come and it's a night honor, but I don't want to put it out there. So he's like, all right, cool, so no pictures, and you and Donald Trump, and you can replace. I mean, Donald Trump is like the wacky president, but you can replace it with anybody. You and President Obama are sitting there just eating Big Macs, shooting the shit.
I'm not a big fan of Big Macs.
I feel like it would be more fun.
Bread.
I feel like it'd be more fun to eat fast food with Donald Trump than any of the more recent presidents, because I feel like you wouldn't feel bad about eating a bunch because he's going to too.
Yeah, no.
Obama doesn't look like a big eater.
There's one more left, and you look, and he's like $7 billion, right? He grabs it. I'm like, you can afford more, right?
You're like, I literally don't have food to go on the trip home. But yeah, so eating burgers with the president would be fucking badass. And people are like, yeah, but I hate this president. He's fucking. It's like, yeah, but I mean, you just gotta respect the fact that you're sitting eating burgers with the president. Like, there's something to that. No matter if you like that president or don't or whatever, you're eating burgers in like the room that Kennedy fucked a bunch of people in or whatever. There's like jizz on the sheets, old jizz.
Yeah.
But
he's like, we don't wash it. It's good luck.
Yeah. I kiss the sheets every night before I go to bed. He's like, you say it don't work? No nuclear war. You know, it's like they just
that's exactly. He's like, that's the Secret Service sauce. Right?
Kennedy jizz is the secret to presidential. He was the last one to get shot because he never kissed. Let's face it, Kennedy probably kissed Kennedy jizz. He forgot which girl was blowing him and which wasn't, and he kissed the wrong one when they were done. You know, something like that. But yeah, Kennedy jizz probably has a lot to do with why no president has been shot.
This is the last one that got shot, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, he was the last one who died, who was assassinated.
69?
63.
He got shot in 63?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
A day to which clearly to you did not live, or whatever. You know, people are like, I always remember what I was doing when Kennedy was shot. Of course, you weren't born yet. But no, he
24 years later.
I don't know how many other. I know Ronald Reagan was shot. But
what if he would have been? Let's just say like Kennedy, right? Would have went on his whole time, whatever, you know. And then he's like, I did not have sexual, right? You know what I mean? He does it.
Well, he would have had to if. See, back then, everybody.
Yeah, I know
the press didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
they were like respectful of the office or whatever. He was fucking at a rate that Bill Clinton thinks about and jerks off.
That's probably his hero. He's like, I'm going to be the fucking.
I listened to a podcast one time that was they just told the life story of Kennedy, and it was like a funny one. Actually, it's called Time Suck. It's a fucking great, like, one of my favorite podcasts. But anyway, he's talking about Kennedy, and I knew, like, you know, you always heard, like, Kennedy, like, fucked a lot of girls and other, but it was, like, crazy, though. Like, it was the numbers he was putting up. Like, he was fucking, and what they said, like, part of it was, he was real sickly, ever from birth. Like, he had all these issues, like back issues, and he had health issues, and he almost died a few times, and he almost died in the war.
He's Irish, right?
Yeah.
Mom was probably drinking the whole time.
Yeah, and bad Irish genes.
You know what I mean?
The real Irish curse is that we die young. And we have little dicks. But, oh, shit. That was lying. But, yeah, so he starts telling these stories about and this is just the ones that people know. And it's like, and then he had sex with this woman out by the pool while his wife was in the house. And
at the White House?
Yeah. He had chicks come over and he'd fuck them. And, like, Marilyn Monroe, he fucked her. And, I mean, like, Bill Clinton got I guess he had the famous thing was a blowjob, but I guess he was, like, fucking her too, I don't know. But he fucked a girl that, like, she just looks like a girl, you know? She's pretty enough, but he was fucking, like, all the most beautiful women in the world, like, all of them. Kennedy got it in, and there's for sure still jizz somewhere in the White House. You ever see those shows where they solve a murder and there's always jizz somewhere? That's people trying to clean up a crime scene. Kennedy didn't know about DNA, so he didn't care where there was jizz. It's still in there. But, anyway, Kennedy jizz.
Lincoln's painting, right? At his bedroom.
He's like, fuck you, Abe. He's like, honestly, you're going to take a shot on the face.
He's like, now it's the Lincoln bedroom, right?
He's like, somebody needs to Washington these sheets. I hope that girl doesn't have an Adam's apple now.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking you were going to say Adams or something.
Yeah.
We're going to go through all of them, right?
Yeah. I was trying to think of one with Roosevelt, but I couldn't.
Someone's walking on, they're like, oh, Obama.
I got one. He Roosevelt her up. That's not great.
You're going back.
That's a stretch.
I was trying to, like, end. You know what I mean?
We had a president called Harding. I feel like that's just easy. Warren B. Harding.
But anyways, all right. So
yeah, that's going to be the end.
That's going to be the end. This one. This has been the episode. What is it?
76.
Episode 76. Yeah. Pick up big sticks. And all right. Anyways, we're gonna try. We've been we never even talked about it, but we've been on a little hiatus for about 2.5 weeks. We were both sick, and then fuck y'all. Life gets in the way.
I'm still a little sick.
How many fucking podcasts did you record this last 3 weeks?
Some guys like 4.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, sorry, man. Good job, man.
I mean, if you did one, you're beating us.
Yeah. Oh, shit, yeah. And he's like, I'm on 77, right?
Yeah.
Fuck you. But all right. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all for listening. Please go on to iTunes, subscribe,
leave reviews,
leave a comment, like it, whatever you do. Share it. Tell your grandma.
Yeah, if you like it, just tell your friends.
Go to the nursing home, start telling all of them.
What I always say,
they don't do anything. They can listen.
What I always say is, if you like this and you like your friends, then your friends will probably like this. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
you only like people because you want to seem accepted. You don't actually care what they do or what they care about.
There's a flaw in what I just said. What? Your friend is Kevin. Kevin might not would like this one.
He wouldn't like this one. But anyways, now, Kevin, if you listen to this, you probably would have already shut it off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everybody, anyways, thank you for listening. And if you were listening to this, you know it. Or the bad vibe.